Hi guys, before I get into today's video, I just want to express my gratitude for people that have actually watched the two shorts that I did of Jake a while ago. For those of you who have no idea what I've just said, a few days ago I was babysitting Jake and he was crying and barking and acting all adorable, so on an impulse I decided to make two shorts of him, and they've turned out to be really well received. So if you have watched it, thank you so much. I'm just so grateful that they've actually got over 1,000 views each. I'm really shocked, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. But before I get into today's video, please do not forget to subscribe, ring that bell and give this video a thumbs up. I will also have a link down below to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads. So I have been a massive fan of Junji Ito's work ever since I was introduced to his work by my subscription box. They sent me Remina and I didn't know what it was at first, but it was a manga, I knew that, and I really enjoyed it. And from that point on I knew I had to read some more of Junji Ito's work. So I picked this one up off of eBay and I really enjoyed it. So before I get into today's video, before I forget, this is going to be a spoiler-free video, and this is going to be my own thoughts, not just regarding Dissolving Classroom, but Junji Ito as well. So let me just show you some of the artwork before I get into telling you what the story is all about. I love the artwork that Junji Ito creates. They are very descriptive, they're very emotional. You can see what people are actually experiencing or feeling by the expressions on their faces and their body language. So yeah, it's really detailed and immersive, and I really enjoy it. And plus it's actually got all this like gore in it which you can expect from Junji Ito. So Dissolving Classroom is a short story collection and it focuses around two siblings, a brother and a sister. And I know I will probably butcher their names, but I'm going to say them anyway. I will have the text up on the screen so you can know what the spelling is. But the guy's name is Yuma and the girl's name is Chizumi. Again, I probably butchered them, apologies, but I did my best. So the brother is obsessed about apologizing, and everyone that he apologizes to, their brains melt out from their eye sockets, their noses and their mouths, and what's left is a melted residue or a puddle of human waste, and that is all the bones, tissue, hair, organs. They all dissolve into this goop, this sludge. And this happens to everyone that he apologizes to. And the sister is completely and utterly batshit insane. She is so crazy. It's not explained about why she is the way she is. She's just really unusual. And she is completely obsessed about eating this melted human waste that her brother produces from his victims. So as I said, this is a short story focusing around these two siblings in different situations. So the first one is called Dissolving Classroom and it has this beautiful beginning page there. This introduces our two characters, and the brother is always apologizing to everyone, and everyone that he apologizes to in his classroom and at his new school, as I said, their brains dissolve and they melt. And this story introduces us to our two main characters, and there is a girl in this story as well that sees the guy being bullied at school, and it's kind of a trope at this point now, well, especially in mangas and in anime, that a young girl stands up and protects a guy that's being harassed and bullied, especially in the educational situation. But even though she thinks that she's doing the right thing, she slowly uncovers the truth behind these two siblings, and it doesn't really end well for her. Next we have is Dissolving Beauty, and this again focuses around the brother mostly and how he is dating. And all these attractive women that he encounters and dates, he tells them how beautiful they are. And the more he does it, the more their faces dissolve and melt. Not like his usual victims who melt completely, but their faces distort in a very graphic and unattractive way. But while this is happening, they are always asking him, oh, am I still beautiful? And he says, yes, you are still beautiful. You are the most attractive girl I have ever seen in my whole life. Next we have is Dissolving Apartment, and this focuses around our two siblings in a apartment complex. And there's all this noise going on in their house, or in their apartment rather, and their neighbours hear this and they think that their parents are abusing their children, as they are all bruised and covered in plasters, and they go to intervene. And at this point in the story, we are introduced kind of to their parents, although the parents aren't what they appear to actually be at first. There's more to them than this story, but they aren't fully explained in graphic detail. But I enjoy it. Again, it doesn't end well for any of the people that intervene. Next we have is Yumi in Love. And as you can probably tell, this one is for the girls, as this focuses around the girl being romantic, or trying to be romantic, with a young boy that she has first harassed and now fallen in love with. She catches him, holds him hostage in their house. The brother sees this, but he doesn't really know what to actually do. And it's just a really funny, quirky story. Yeah, it's just very humorous, that one. And I love it how she wears all these dresses that she doesn't usually wear, and she tries to make herself more attractive towards this boy, and as you can see, he's not having it. So next we have his Interview with the Devil. Now this one is the first one that doesn't actually have a full page picture on it. So this one focuses around a member of a law enforcement investigating these two siblings, as it's been kind of addressed that people have been disappearing and they've been melting, and this is a story taking a turn in that direction. So this agent or lawyer, I can't remember which one, takes the girl who is the survivor of the first story that's wheelchair bound to the address of these two siblings, mostly to try to find out what's going on and to try to confront them and to basically get answers. And yeah, they do get answers, but not the ones that they want to actually get. And in this story, we kind of get some character development for both of the siblings, as well as kind of some backstory with how they kind of got their powers, or sort of anyway, and what happened sort of to their parents. I also want to address here that I forgot to mention this, that the brother worships the devil in this story, and the devil isn't a massive part of this story. He pops up from time to time, but he's never really a villain or a main character. He's more of this evil entity that's lurking in the background, and the brother worships him. And it's implied that when he apologizes to people, he is apologizing to the devil, and people get in his way, and this is what causes them to melt. As well as when he is dating girls, he is telling the devil how beautiful he is and how much he loves him, but the girl is kind of in their way. So you got the guy, you got the girl, and you got the devil, and it's implied that there's this energy that's going to and from the brother and Satan, and the girl is absorbing all this energy, I think it is. So that is the main story, or the short stories, focusing around the two siblings. Now there are two stories at the back that have got nothing whatsoever to do with this collection. The first one is called The Return, and this focuses around a man that is grieving the loss of his recently deceased wife and how they are reunited once again, but not in the way that he expects them to actually be reunited. It is very short, it's very powerful, and yeah, you know, it's okay. And the last story is The Children of the Earth, and this is about a group of adults that are trying to find their lost school trip, that they've gone into the woods and they've gone missing, and they go out in a search party to try and find out what's actually happened. I won't say exactly what actually turns out or what happens at the end, as it's a very short story and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I really enjoyed it. They do find out about what happens to their kids, but it's a very, very unusual situation. So that is my kind of review on Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. So I'm going to rate this a 5 stars out of 5. If you have seen my wrap up video, I think it was for January, I rated this my first 5-star rating for 2022, and this is really, really epic. As I said, I read 2 other books by Junji Ito prior to this one, and that was Remina and Smashed. I have a whole videos on both them 2 mangas, so I will have them linked down below in case you want to check them out. So in conclusion, if you are into horror and you have never read or heard of Junji Ito before, he is the master of Japanese horror. Please do not be put off by the fact that this is a manga, that it is not a conventional novel. It doesn't mean that it's not a good story. It doesn't necessarily mean that the characters in it aren't interesting and compelling. And please do not be convinced that reading mangas isn't reading. This is so good. I haven't come across anything by Junji Ito that I haven't fully enjoyed. If I was to be honest, I suppose some stories in his short story collection of Smashed wasn't the best, but I still enjoyed them for what they actually were. So I would highly recommend that you pick up something by Junji Ito. I mean, I would definitely recommend that you start off with Dissolving Classroom. It's very short. I'm pretty sure I read this all in 2 days, and yeah, I can't recommend this author enough, or this individual enough. I also forgot to mention that do not expect there to be loads of answers in this book at the end, explaining about how these 2 siblings got their so-called powers, why they're doing what they're doing, how it actually ended, because the book actually blatantly tells the reader that this is what happens, but you can fill in the gaps with your own imagination, and it never really explains about how or what happened to their parents, but you can more or less figure it out for yourself or fill in the blanks about what you thought actually happened. I'm also reading Fragments of Horror, so expect that to be on my channel sometime soon. This is another short story collection. So I've only read the first story in this. I'm halfway through the second, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So that's it, guys. That is my little review on Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. Let me know, have you read this? Have you read anything else by Junji Ito? I've got loads of stuff in my room by this author, so expect me to be talking a lot about him this year. So yeah, guys, that's all I really had to say. So with all that out the way, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.